Hello, my dear YouTube students. Welcome back to my channel, Scorpio class. In today's video, we are going to learn a class 10 English chapter, The Broken Gate. The Broken Gate is your non-detailed or a supplementary chapter. It's lesson number 2 from that part. And let us read the lesson and understand it. But before that, students, if you are viewing my video for the first time, to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notification of all the upcoming videos. Do watch the video till end and hit the like button if you like the video, and also subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. So let's move ahead, and there's one more news for you all that we have come up with Scorpio class Hindi channel for you all. In this channel, you're going to find Hindi class, Hindi lessons explanation of class 8, 9 and 10. And yes, you'll also find the question and answers, complete notes, as well as grammar videos of your syllabus of class 8, 9 and 10 as well. So to get the link of this channel, visit the description box, find the link and share and subscribe to the channel. You'll also find the link in the I button above so that you can directly go to the channel from here. So that's it from the good news here, and now let's move towards the lesson. So students, this lesson is about an old man by name Twinkle, and here he wanted a boy who would help him to work in his shop. So let us read the story and understand what kind of shop he had and what kind of work he wanted the boy to do. So old man Twinkle wanted a boy to help him in his shop. He needed a boy who could drive Jenny, the pony, for all Twinkle's goods were taken round in the cart. So the old man Twinkle put a notice in his window, wanted boy to help after school hours. Okay, so as I said, the old man whose name was Twinkle, he wanted a boy to help him in his shop in his work, and he wanted this boy to do some work, and that work was to drive Jenny. Jenny was the name of the pony. Pony is the kind of donkey, okay? So a kind of horse, you can say. This pony, it used to carry all the loads, all the goods of Twinkles from one place to another in its cart. And he wanted somebody who could drive the cart properly. Okay, so the pony's name was Jenny. It was the pet name given to it. No, so the old man, he put a notice in front of his window that he wanted a boy to help. And he also mentioned that after school hours, so that they can also go to school, finish the studies, and later on at the free time, they can come and do the work. So all the boys saw the notice, and many of them thought they would try for the job, and they could do it after school and on Saturdays. And it would be a good job, for old man Twinkle was generous and kind. Okay, so when the boys saw the notice, so many of them they thought, oh, come on, let's go and give a try for this job. Maybe we'll get this job, and it's also after school hours, and we'll get Saturdays and Sundays to do the work. So it would be a good job for us, because the old man Twinkle is also a generous and a kind person, so that he may pay us very good amount for it. So that evening, all the boys, so the boys' name I mentioned here, that is George, Henry, Peter, and Harry. So these were four boys who went to see old man, whose name was Twinkle, who wanted a boy for the job for his help. Now, Jack also was a boy, and he was the smallest of all his friends. And he hesitated to try for a job because he thought his clothes were not good. He was wearing ragged clothes. He went to see who would get the job. So old man Twinkle wasn't ready to see anyone for the moment. So he told the boys to play in the yard till he called them. Okay. So all the four boys they went there, and along with them there was also a friend by name Jack, but he was the smallest in the group, and so he hesitated for trying for a job because he knew maybe because I'm small, I will not be given this job. And apart from that, he was a poor boy. His clothes were not well. He was wearing rag torn clothes. So he thought, let me just go and see among these four of my friends who is going to get the job. So he joined them. Now, when the boys went, Twinkle was not ready. He was busy in his some work. So he said, at this moment, I cannot take you all interviews. So you all play for some time in the yard. And when I call, that time you may come in for the interview. So, seeing an enormous yard gate swinging to and fro in the wind, all five boys climbed up on the gate. They shouted and pretended to whip the gate to make it gallop. It swung to and fro, and the boys shouted with delight. And then suddenly something happened. Okay, so when they were ordered to play in the yard because it was not free, the old man was not free. And when they saw there was a big yard gate which was swinging to and fro, means it was closing and opening because of the wind. So all the five boys they climbed upon the gate and they started shouting as if they are whipping the gate. Means as if they are sitting in the cart and making the animal to move. So making it gallop. They were shouting and enjoying. And it was swinging. The gate was swinging to and fro, and they continued to shout with delight, with happiness. And then suddenly something happened there. So the gate was old and was not meant to carry five heavy boys. It broke away at the hinges, and the boys found themselves sliding off. The gate gave a groan and hung all crooked, swinging in a very peculiar manner. So obviously the gate was old and it would not carry the weight of five heavy boys, so it ultimately broke, and the boys found themselves sliding from the gate because from the side of the gate it got broken and they were sliding and they fell down. All the boys thought that the old man Twinkle was at the front of the shop and he could not see what had happened. So when this happened, they thought the old man did not notice that the gate is broken by us. But we ought to tell him, said Jack. It's rather cowardly not to. My mother says we always ought to own up at once when anything's broken. Can't we all five go and tell him? So, among all these five boys, only Jack said, we need to go and tell him because it's our responsibility, not because it is broken because of us. So, we should not be coward. We should go and we should tell him the truth what has happened because Jack says, my mother always says, whatever you have done, whatever is because of you, you have to go and say it without hiding. So he is ready to go, but what about other boys? No, said others. He might say he won't give us the job, and if we have done a thing like that, we won't say a word. So what did other boys say? They said, no, we will not say, we will not inform about this to Twinkle, the old man, because he might not give us a job when we say this. So let us keep quiet because he has not noticed it. At this moment, they saw Mr. Twinkle shouting at them, so they all went to him. Means he was calling him, calling all of the boys inside for the interview. So they ran towards him. Now Twinkle interviewed them one by one. He asked them some questions and also asked whether they knew anything about the broken gate. Surprisingly, all the boys pretended not to be knowing anything about the broken gate. Okay, so as a interview was going on, Twinkle interviewed all the boys one by one, and then he asked them some questions. And he also asked a question related to broken gate. Whether do you know something about it? So all the boys pretended, means they acted as if they did not know anything about the broken gate. Then Mr. Twinkle told he would make his choice that evening. Means he would select somebody that evening and he would say the final decision. So they all went off except Jack. He was worried about the broken gate. It was dreadful to break a thing and not tell about it and not even try and mend it. He wondered if he could mend it. He swung the gate a little to see how much it was broken. Okay, so Jack, being an honest boy, he was worried. He did not leave the broken gate and go. Instead, he wanted to try to mend it, trying to repair it and fix it. He wondered that let me try if I could make it. So he started swinging the gate and see and check out like how much is the gate broken because he was worried about that. He could not leave it like that and go. So Old Man Twinkle, he saw Jack from the window. He called him in. Are you and the boy after his job? He asked. So Old Man thought that he has also come for the job interview. So he asked, have you come for this job? He said, no, sir. I'm too small and not very clever, and I'm a bit rat too, because my mother hasn't much money. So he was an honest boy, so he said, no, sir, I have not come for a job, and I'm too small for this job, and I'm not so clever. And apart from that, I'm wearing the ragged clothes because my mother is poor and she hasn't much money to give me good clothes. Said Old Man Twinkle. I see. Well, what are you doing out there in my yard? Do you know anything about the broken gate? So Twinkle asked him about the broken gate. Do you know anything about my broken gate? Oh dear, thought Jack. Now what am I to say? I don't want to get other boys into trouble. So Jack, he was confused now. What do I say? I don't want my friends to get in trouble, nor I don't want to say anything lie or false to the Twinkle also. So what shall I say? Then he went red and then he said, "Yes, Mr. Twinkle, I do know about the gate." He said, "Yes, I do know about the gate." Means I know something about the gate. So what does he say? Let us see. "What do you know about it?" asked the old man again. He says, "I was swinging on it when it broke," said Jack bravely, though he did not feel at all brave, for Twinkle was frowning. Okay, so Jack is taking the responsibility or the blame on himself. He says, "Yes, I was swinging on the gate when it broke." And he said it very bravely, very confidently, though he was not so brave from inside because he knew that Twinkle is frowning. He has made his facial expression as if he is very angry. So he says, "Oh, so your weight broke my gate, did it?" said Old Man Twinkle, and he looked fierce. So Twinkle knew that his weight is not so much that it would break his gate. So he's asking, "So you say that your weight has broken my gate?" And well, not exactly, said Jack. "So what do you mean, not exactly?" asked Twinkle. So he was confused. "Jack, what shall I say? How do I say?" And he did not want his friends to get in trouble, and he wanted that one of the friends should get a job there. So he was hiding it. Now, "Oh, please, sir, don't be angry. But you see, some other boys and I were all swinging together on it, and it broke," said Jack. "I wanted to come and tell you, really I did, but the others said no, and I couldn't give them away. Could I? I stayed to see if I could mend the gate. That's what I was doing out in your yard." So now Jack says everything. He says everything in a true manner, and truly he says everything, like, "So do not get angry, I'll say you everything." And he says that I, along with the four boys, were swinging on the gate and it broke out, and when I wanted to come and tell to you everything what happened, but the boys said me no, and I couldn't go give them away. Means I could not go against them because they are my friends. So I stayed here to check whether I mend your gate. That is what I was doing in your yard. So this is all he said to the Old Man, that is Twinkle. "I see," said Old Man Twinkle, and he did not look quite so fierce now. "Well, who were the other boys?" "Don't be angry with me, Mr. Twinkle, but I really can't tell tales," said poor Jack. "They are my friends, you see, and I don't want them to get into trouble." So when he asked, Old Man asked, "Okay, tell me who are those boys?" Now he is not so fierce, he is not so in angry mode because he got to know the truth. And he's saying, "Okay, let me know who are the other boys." So now Jack says, "Don't be angry with me, Mr. Twinkle, but I cannot say false stories. I cannot tell tales, means I cannot say false stories. These are my friends, you saw them, and I don't want them to get in some trouble. So I was hiding." So that means he said that my friends were the boys who have broken your gate. "Quite so," said Old Man Twinkle. "And now I'm going to tell you something. The boys' names were Harry, Peter, George, and Henry. You see, I know them all." So the man says, the old man, he says all the four boys' name who were his friends and who had broken his gate. Now Jack started in surprise. "How did you know?" he asked. "Did the boys tell you after all?" So Jack was surprised to hear this, that he knows the name and he also knows that they have broken the gate. So he says, "How do you know? Did they tell you everything that what had happened?" "Not one of them," said the old man Twinkle. "They pretended to be surprised. They pretended not to know. They told me untruths. But I happened to see you all swinging on the gate when it broke. So I knew all about it, you see." So now the old man Twinkle, he says to Jack, "No, no one of the boys has said me anything. In fact, they were so Surprised when I asked them whether they know something about the broken gate, they pretended, they behaved as if they don't know anything. But I saw them, you all, from the window that you were all swinging on the gate, and the gate was broken at that time. The gate broke at that time. So he was seeing from the window when all these things happened. Oh, said Jack, and he stared at Mr. Twinkle again. Well, please choose one of the boys, he said. They are nice boys, really, although they did not own up about the gift. So now this Jack is taking side of his friend and is saying that please select any one of the boys from them because they all are nice boys. But I know they did not tell the truth today about the gift, but they all are nice. So please select any one of those. I have chosen my boy, said Mr. Twinkle. Who is he? Asked Jack. So he said, I've already chosen a boy. So Jack was so curious to know, like, who is he? Tell the name. So the man says, he's you. Yes, I know you're small, but you'll grow specially if Mrs. Twinkle makes you pudding every night. And I know you are at the bottom of the class for lots of things, but good food will make your brains grow too. And I know you are a bit ragged, but a little of pocket money will buy you a better clothes. So this man, he was so generous, so kind, that Mr. Twinkle, he said that I selected you as a boy to help me. And I know you are small, but will grow up. When my wife, that is Mrs. Twinkle, will give you some puddings to eat every night. And I know that you are at the last, at the bottom in the class because you have few things which you are not having. That is good food, and I will give you. If you have good money, you will have good food, and your brains will also grow. You will also become clever. And if you get money, a little pocket money, you will have good clothes also to wear. So everything will be fine. Oh, Mr. Twinkle carried Jack. But why do you choose a boy like me? The others are bigger and cleverer. So still he has a question in his mind. Why are you selecting me, the boy who is small? There are other boys who are bigger than me and cleverer. Even then you are selecting me. So Mr. Twinkle says, they may be. But what I want is a boy who is brave enough to own up when things go wrong. I want a boy who can speak the truth. I want a boy who is loyal. And if you are loyal to your friends, as you have been just now, you will be loyal to me too. I have chosen the right boy, Jack. I have chosen the right boy. So he explains, Mr. Twinkle explains why he has chosen him. He wants a brave boy who is brave to own up to the things, own up to the things and situation when it goes wrong. Like you should know to handle it. You should not hide your faults, whatever it is. So it was he who has come up with this bravery. So he selected him, and he says that you are speaking the truth and you're very loyal to your friends because you don't want your friends to be in trouble. You're helping them. And if you work with me, I know that you'll be loyal to me too. So I have chosen the right boy, Jack, and I have chosen the right boy. So Mr. Twinkle was very confident that he has selected the right boy, and that is Jack who will be helping him. So he had, for Jack is with him still, but not as errand boy. Oh no, he is the head of the shop now and doing very well indeed. All because of a broken gate. Wasn't it strange? So now this boy, Jack, he's just still working with Mr. Twinkle, but not as a driver or not as a helper, but he's the head of the shop now and is doing very well indeed. And why and how did Jack get all this work or job here? It's all because of that broken gate. So when you listen about this broken gate, it is the broken gate which gave him a job and gave him such a good position and it changed his condition. Isn't it strange to hear that because of a broken gate, he got such a good opportunity? It's because of the broken gate, he said the truth and everything happened. So this is the story and it gets over here. I hope you understood the story and it was good to listen. If you like the video, do hit the like button and share it with your friends. Also subscribe to my channel and Scorpio Class Hindi channel too. Stay tuned for more such videos. Thank you.